Woo! Woo! Look, I just been keeping my poise. Made by the million, but still unemployed. They text me about green, but not on Android. She not my shawty, she filling the void. I make the sounds that cut through the noise. He think he a man, but he chillin' with boys. Put down the liquor, start drinking LaCroix. The pain wasn't choice, but now I rejoice. My uncle had told me that I was the one. I played the shit smart, now my bragging and dumb. Lil' shawty had hit me, said she wanna come. Her dresses is black, but she not a nun. I'm so Pasadena, cause that's where I'm from. Some bangers, some hoes, them with guns. They scheming for riches, they playing in numb. I'm second, I wins cause I'm second to none. Look, what the you think I do it for? Do it for? Ay, looking in the mirror, you the go, you the go. Ay, I've been out here grinding 24.
What's going on, folks? What's going on, man? Hey, listen to welcome back to Secure the Bag, where we are joined by a powerhouse in the world of finance, my brother Jeff Malone. Originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and based in Atlanta, Jeff is the current managing director of his firm, where he's made it his mission to help others build their own financial practices and take ownership of their futures. With over 15 years of expertise in accounting and finance, Jeff brings a deep well of knowledge spanning financial analysis, budgeting, pension planning, retirement accounts like IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, and more. He's also no stranger to client debt restructuring, helping individuals navigate mortgages, equity lines of credit, vehicle loans, credit cards, and insurance products, all while producing sharp managerial reports that drive results. What makes Jeff's leadership truly stand out is his impact. He's built the largest team in his region with a strong representation of women, proving that diversity and empowerment are core to his mission. You're about to hear from someone who's not only strategic with numbers, but passionate about people. Please welcome to the show, Jeff Malone. How you doing today, brother?
Hey, brother, how you doing, man? Thank you for that warm welcome, that warm introduction. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Welcome to Secure the Bag, man. So I know me and Jason, we just had a great weekend. We went out for we both had our family reunions on the Evans and the Benton side. So that was great to go out there and connect with everybody, man. Fellas, y'all had anybody or anything interesting y'all did over the last week or so? Any good business meetings, any family events?
Well,
Hell
I
yeah,
had
man.
in
I
town
was
for
telling you
sure.
guys.
Go ahead,
No,
Jeff.
go ahead, brother.
Jeff, you
I
got
was,
it,
tell,
Jeff.
I was, yeah, I was telling you guys what happened when we was in South Carolina and
Oh,
Georgia,
go ahead. Yep.
just about the family building on land and coming together to to create the legacy so the younger generation can start seeing what the past have created, and families migrate to the bigger cities and they forget where everybody came from and the land that was purchased and how everybody actually became what they are from people from our elders, man. So it was a great historic run for my family and my wife's family, and man, it was just powerful meeting some of the impactful family members that I didn't even know was we related to. One of the gentlemen, Antonio McFarland, he was the head admissions guy for Morehouse for like 7 years. So now he's back in South Carolina in Florence running for city council, and he's at Florence Darlington Technical Institution and doing consulting jobs for other colleges and HBCUs to get more blacks into power and to school and showing them how education really is a gateway to lead our culture forward, man. So yeah, man, it was impactful. I know we spoke about it in length. We'll probably have an episode about it, but man, yeah, man, it's dope connecting with family and learning what power we really hold.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. That's good to hear. I definitely had the same, meeting family that's out in North Carolina that came up here to Connecticut. And just seeing individuals that are interested in my field to even just have the conversation to help benefit their lives and also get into the field themselves to help others produce. But brother Jeff, or yeah, Jeff, I know you was about to say something. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I had family in town. My mother, my nephew came in town. So, as you know, I'm in Atlanta, but I'm from Cleveland, so I don't get to see all my family that often. So it was good to see my mom, see my nephew, spend some time with them. They ran me around a little bit, but it was good. It was good. I was running short on some energy, but it was cool. Um, Other than that, I mean, it's just been same old. grind, man, working and trying to do the best I can out here. So
Yeah. Kings Rock.
Yep.
All right, Gerard, you ain't gonna go. I'll go. Um, over the weekend, I'm still getting used to being back home. When I was in Mexico for a few days, so I'm just getting acclimated back, regular life. But my whole even goal was to go away, for the weekend for my birthday and come back just going hard. So leaving like during that time, that was July 5th, I pretty much got the deal on the contract. I think I told y'all. So today I did the inspection of the basement. We already under contract, but he just wanted to know like what we're gonna do as far as estimates on getting the basement fixed. But all day today I just been going to I went to like y'all know Hot Shot, right? Hot Shot that started in 98, like 92. Hot Shot basketball camp. So I
yeah,
went there earlier and a guy, his name is Bilal, he came in and he spoke because he got an all boys school that he started or whatever. And he came to speak to the kids and all that. So I connected with him. Like my whole day been productive from when I got up until now. Even after this, I gotta text mad people or email them because I got all their numbers and information earlier. So I just been working, man. Like I just been working, going hard, like connecting with different programs. I don't know if y'all know about the Project Longevity. That's a program to where they work with uh different individuals who have gun charges or been victims of gun violence, help them get housing. So they reached out to me, they see my flyer somewhere, so I just been building. That's like every day I get a chance to get out, connect with some people, ask questions, get information, and find out what programs and different things that they got that can help me do my business better or my nonprofit better. So that's what I've been doing.
Word, word. So brother Jeff, man. So we know that you are in the financial field, man. Just give us a little bit on like some of your background as far as like some of the clientele you may have helped. Anything that some people could look at and be like, you know what, that sounds like something that they may want to get into or something that they could benefit from. Just to be able to reach out and have that conversation.
yeah, for sure. I mean, when I first started out in finance, I was on the retail side, so I was doing a lot more with real estate, doing a lot more with credit solutions, lending solutions,
Mm,
things like that. So I learned a lot about the real estate side first, which I'm grateful for because that gave me the opportunity to get, investment properties. And then I started a business behind it. And that's what I was telling y'all the other day. Like, so I still have that business, and we have, collectively as me and one other business partner, we have properties in 3 states, 4 cities. Through doing that, I was able to meet a lot of people in the real estate industry, right?
mm-hmm,
So when I transitioned over to advisory, like that was one sector of people that I was working with a lot of people like in real estate, doing real estate. Then I started working a lot with residents and physicians, and medical device. So that was something that was new. This was years ago, but as I started to learn more, I started to realize like how much we can really, really help people in that industry. And it's totally different than how I was helping people in the real estate. So on the real estate side. So other than that, I mean, I work with a lot of business owners just in general. One of the things that we help with mostly is trying to figure out, what people's balance sheet is. So we create a balance sheet and their income statement, and then we do a cash flow design, cash flow allocation model, and then we come up with strategies to be able to decrease their taxable income, show them how to pay less taxes once they get to retirement, increase their cash flow, give them more income once they get to retirement, and we usually try to do that off of the same dollars that they're already saving right now. It's
mm,
just a way that we can reallocate and re-strategize how they're actually structuring everything. Most people find value in that. So that's one of the big pieces of education. And then also along the way, as you're making money, you're making income, that's the foundation of your whole financial plan. So we want to make sure we protect that. So there's ways that you can actually protect your income while you're in your accumulation phase, right? Because
mm.
that's when we're growing money, that's when we're making money, that's when we're trying to get everything set up to be in a position to not have to work. Everybody wants to have the opportunity to say, hey, look, I don't have to work if I don't want to,
Right.
right? So that's the ultimate goal, to get everybody in that position.
Yeah. So even with everything you said, man, everything like to where from the structuring of the business to even, even on a personal side, it sounds great, right? But why do you feel like some people just hesitate to seek financial advice even when they know they need it, whether it be a business owner or whether it be just someone that's just working a 9 to 5? Why do you feel like most people just run away from financial guidance and try to do it themselves?
Man, I think honestly, it's different for like different demographics, right? Like, so people in our community will have a different outlook on that and a different reason why they wouldn't do it versus somebody in a different community. But I would say what I've seen by and large is that it's going to be two main things. One is just misinformation,
Mm,
misinformation around the overall topic. What does financial planning actually mean? And a lot of people feel like, oh, to get an advisor or to work with somebody, whoever it is, a financial professional, right? Anybody in finance, whatever, right? To work with a
mhm.
professional on doing planning for me, I need to have a certain level of money. And that's not always the case.
Yeah.
That's not always the case. Like, really, what you need is to be coachable, right? And be committed to saving. If you could be a good saver, yeah, I've seen people make a third of the money as one household, but they were better savers, right? So I've literally seen that. Say for instance, I have somebody making, what's the easy number? $100,000. That's the easy
Mhm.
number, right? And then somebody making 30,000. If that person making 30,000 is saving a better saver than the person making 100,000, I could do more work with that person making 30, if we're being honest. So, if somebody's making 300,000 versus somebody making 100,000, the person making lower may feel as though they can't go and start getting guidance and things like that because they got to get their bag up, they got to get their savings up, they got to get all these things together. But that's not the case. Time isn't really your friend when it comes to waiting around to start this, right? Time is your friend when it comes to starting early, right? Somebody that's in their 20s starting to save is not going to have to save as much as somebody that's starting in their 40s. If they had the same exact financial picture, household picture, everything was exactly the same, but they were 20 years apart, the person that has that extra 20 years is not going to have to work as hard. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think a lot of people don't understand that concept around it. They just look at it as dollars and cents, and I don't have enough money to do this. That's just a misconception. It's just misinformation. Then the second reason is people are scared. They're
Mm,
scared to see their own reality. But the honest truth that I tell everybody is like, look, if you don't like the reality you're in right now, if you don't like the seat you're sitting in or your position that you're in right now, we have to take a look at that and see
All
what
right.
you want it to be, right? Because whatever you want it to be, we got to start writing down what are the steps that we need to take to get you there.
Right.
Because if you just keep sitting around and saying, I don't like where I'm at, I ain't ready to talk to anybody about it because I don't want anybody to judge me or feel any certain way about
yeah. Trying to be able to
situation.
my business.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
you probably gonna stay there and you'll probably be there next year.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll be there 5 years from now because you haven't told yourself, hey, I want to be committed to being better. So if that makes me uncomfortable to be better, that's what it's gonna take. You know, that's what it's gonna take. You
Yeah.
have to be uncomfortable in a lot of situations.
No, most
That's just like
definitely.
working out, man. I tell people on my team, I'm like, look, you can't expect to get gains in the gym and never be uncomfortable.
Exactly.
How that sound? Like, yeah, I want to get my bench up. I want to get a six pack abs. But I never want to be uncomfortable in the gym. I just want to feel good all the time. I never want to be sore. Come on now, that sounds crazy. It's
Yeah.
the same thing when we talk about building
They
our.
want to look good
You
in the
know,
gym.
Yeah,
that's what
most
I think.
definitely. That was something that I dealt with a lot. Like even before jumping into the field, I already been in insurance, but not in the financial planning side, man. And it was just like I was like, nah, like I don't make enough money, you know what I'm saying, to sit down to talk to someone about making more money. You know what I mean? I need to go get a better paying job, or I need to save more money before I had that conversation. It's like, well, just like you said, if I want to get to a certain level, I need to go and have a conversation on how to get to that level. What's my next step?
Exactly.
What types of what advice can I get from an advisor? You know what I'm saying? That's the point
Mhm.
of an advisor, is to get advice
Right.
on how to reach the next steps.
You're right, brother.
Yeah.
You're right.
But yeah, we talk about that in this industry also when people say I want to wait to get pre-approved, and it's like you're waiting without any direction. You don't even know if you're ready yet. You don't even know how to get ready.
You don't
So
know how to get
why
ready.
wait?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Why wait? Just start now. And if you're looking a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, guess what? You'll be better prepared once that time comes. We usually have people come in and they're waiting so long that they're under pressure and they're forced to purchase, right? And
Hmm.
they can't rent no more because the rent's too high. So now they got to purchase and get out their property. And now that's where all the problems and issues created. We got to get down payment assistance. We got to do all these things, and the process is not easy, but you can definitely make it easier if you properly prepare.
Yeah.
So for someone that has hesitated, they thought about it, they looked at it like, man, you know what, I do want an advisor, but I'm not sure where to look. What are some positive and some negatives, or like some red flags we should be aware of when it comes to an advisor? Because obviously everybody doesn't have the best interest. Some people are trying to take money from you. You know what I mean? And if you don't know what
Mhm.
to look out for, you'll get that money took.
That's true. That's true. It's a really good question. I mean, I usually will coach my team a certain way on how to go about helping people, right?
Hmm.
And the one thing that I've seen, like when I'm say somebody's joining my team and I'm onboarding somebody and I'm training them, coaching them, and they're coming from another firm, right? Somewhere else. And I'm peeping like what they're doing wrong, right? Or what I want them to change. I would tell you like one of the biggest things is when people come into it as an advisor, as a financial professional, and they're looking at it as a transaction,
Hmm.
right? So I'm talking to Jason, and as soon as I start talking to Jason, I'm looking in my mind at how to create a transaction out of this dialogue,
Hmm.
right? So we're having this interaction, we talking, we breaking bread, whatever it may be, and I'm looking how to get a transaction out of it. Like that's totally wrong. That's that's totally wrong. So if you get that feeling as a consumer, as somebody that's looking for somebody that's going to help you grow and get to where you want to be, and you get the feeling that they just trying to figure out they're just trying to bring you to a transaction, and that first one or two conversations that you're having with them, that might not be the best person for you,
Yeah.
right? Especially if you're looking to grow and get somewhere in the future. You really want somebody that looks at the situation as a relationship. If I'm talking to Jason, I'm trying to figure out, hey, is this is this a brother that I feel like I can build with? Is he looking to grow? Is he looking to do some things in the future? Can we grow this relationship over time?
Hmm.
Because I want to help people that want to be helped, that have a vision, that have goals, right?
Right,
And if you got that, then let's work. Let's see where we
right,
can work and let's grow together, because it's all about painting that picture. If he has a picture that he has in his mind of how everything should be for him 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, I'm trying to help him paint it. And that's what it should be about. I'm listening to him. I'm trying to figure out what he wants, what his interests are, what his goals are, right? And I'm trying to figure out, okay, what has he already done to help him get there? How can I complement those things? What has he not done? How can I help implement those things for him? Right? That's
Hmm.
the person you want to work with, because
right.
they're not looking at you as a short-term transactional gain, right? They're looking at you as a long-term relationship that y'all gonna build together.
Right.
Yeah. So then even fellas, y'all got anything before I jump?
No.
So education more than anything, right? You know what I mean? As far as especially for us right now, right? Giving someone education is more valuable, obviously, than making that transaction because that transaction can just come and go just like that. But
Right.
when you start to educate people, you start to change people's lives. You start to empower them on how they can
Right.
actually make the changes over time versus just, hey, I'm gonna just get some product, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just get this little basic thing, or
Right.
I'm gonna get some investments and then call it a day. But no, if I'm educated on what those investments may look like, how does this product serve me in the long run? What type of goals can I hit with this product? You know what I mean? Then it makes a whole worthwhile, a hell of a difference long term. And like you said, building that relationship. So that's definitely something you want somebody that's gonna figure out those goals
Right.
with you and figure out how they're gonna help you the long term. That makes perfect sense, man.
100%. 100%. You
And
know,
then so one thing that I've tried to create um before even jumping into this field is a family advisor, right? I try to not for myself to be the advisor, but having one for my family. What impact do you think having an advisor for your family has versus you just having that one conversation and just like like okay, let me I know what I'm saying makes sense, but that one person having a conversation versus that entire family having that conversation with that one person, you know what I mean? What's the impact there?
man, that's probably like one of the things that I'm most passionate about.
Mm.
Uh, I could be on a soapbox for that, like the whole episode. Like that's a big one, man, because what I've seen, over all this time of me being in this industry and me just meeting different people in business, like every other community, every other ethnicity does this, but us.
Mm.
Right.
It's for real, like it's serious. It's a problem in our community, man. And we can all be successful individually. And so many of us are happier that way rather than being successful as a family,
Mm.
right? And it's really just a mindset that we need to change within our community, like by having these types of conversations, because the power in an advisor coming, and anybody, it could be somebody in real estate, right? It could be a financial advisor, it could be an investment advisor, financial professional, whatever you want to call it. But the power of having that person come in and give your family unit education versus just you and you running with it, right? I'm gonna give you two different situations, right? So
Mm.
guy, he comes, talks to you, he gives you the education, you get the knowledge, you do what you gotta do, you implement your stuff, you start running with it, you taking off, you doing your thing, right? What your family gonna do? Oh, Mike out here doing his thing, Jason out here doing his thing, man. My cousin out here, he balling, he doing his thing, whatever. As soon as they need something, hey Jason, man, you think you can help me out with this and this and that, right? Now, in your mind, you're like, all right, cool. You help your family member out, you do that, and you keep it moving. Then another family member comes, like, can you help me out with this? You do that, you keep that moving, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, what's happening is you're able to grow, they're not. So what are they going to teach their kids, right? So if you have a brother, what are your nephews and nieces? If you have a sister, what are your nephews and nieces learning? If you have cousins, what your little cousins, what are they learning, right?
Hmm.
So now you got a situation where you're able to help your household, y'all moving up, but your whole family is still in the same spot. So what was it all for? You see what I'm saying? What was it really all for if you can't enjoy it with your family? Not
Right.
not for real. You really can't,
Yep.
because you might even get to a point to where you feel bad even coming around your family and living how you live,
Mm.
right?
It's,
So
that's
you might
true.
have to you might have to fizzle things down when you come around.
Hell no.
You know,
They
you
better, they
know.
better, they better pay attention. They better get with the program.
But this is my point. Now
Right.
let's flip the situation. Okay, boom, that person comes in, he talks to your whole family. Now your whole family gets game. Now it's up to them. It's up to them to put forward the effort, right? So they have
Right.
to be committed. They have to put forward the effort. You're gonna weed out the real ones from the fake ones, right?
Right.
But there's gonna be a group that's gonna elevate, right? And what's gonna happen is even the ones that didn't get it the first time around, they're gonna get motivated by the fact that it's a group of family
Right.
that's
They're not
elevating.
alone.
Like, yeah, they're like, man, I gotta get in. Y'all tell me what to do, right? Y'all
Right.
tell me what to do. So now they getting on. So what happens is now that next generation gets what they need to know. They see us doing something different, right? And they start elevating, putting themselves in a better situation. That changed the whole dynamic because now there's power in that.
Right.
It's called group economics, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So
Right.
now you can do bigger plays with your
Right.
family because
Less money.
alone you can only do what you can do.
Right.
But if you got 5 or 10 other people right there with you, coming with the same bag that you coming with, okay, well,
Right.
we work. I was just looking at getting, a condo investment property. But now I got my 5 cousins, man. We trying to get this commercial property.
Right.
We trying to get this whole building over here. We got 10 offices for lease now.
Right.
We playing a whole different ball game.
exactly.
You can't do it alone, man. Right
And
mindset,
that's
right people.
man, that's what Indians do. That's what
Yeah.
Asians do, you know. And they come to our country
Everybody else.
knowing our economics is based off of capitalism.
They know everything, man. As soon as they get over here, it's like they
They're like
running when they
we
come.
already know how to win over here, right?
Right.
So what is it to win by yourself if you can't be with your family? Like for me, I have a family business and I constantly am trying to make sure we all coming together and building. And it's a tough thing because not everybody has the same mindset. Not everybody has the same drive, you know.
Yep.
But I said I'm always gonna do it. I'm always gonna fight for it. I'm always gonna keep putting it out there. And little by little, I'm bringing this cousin on, this cousin on. We got 2 people, 3 people. Now we got 4 people. I'm trying to make that group as big as possible, and then we're gonna elevate it up, and put more
Yeah.
money into it and do something big. So for me, I just have a real passion behind that. I just think it could change things for our community in a drastic way. We got the power. We're the
Right.
biggest consumers.
Right.
We're the
Exactly.
largest consumers in the whole country, right? So globally, we probably spend more money than anybody
Anybody, yeah.
per capita, right? If
Making them
we
rich.
if we had billions, you know, in each one of our family, we'll be spending trillions.
Oh no, we spending trillions now. Shit, what's after that?
That's what I'm
Gazillions?
saying. So it's like, why can't we see that it's a better picture if we together
Right.
rather than individually? And I'll tell you what I found a lot of times is the case is that people in our community want to see you successful, but not more successful than them.
Yeah. So
You know,
they slave minded.
and
You know
that
what I
and
mean?
that's what we got to switch up and change because it's not an individual success.
Right.
You
Because
know,
if I win, we all win. We could win together. Then
if the
different
see,
families together win it. Now,
exactly, if it's a group success, it's way bigger than my
way,
individual.
way, yeah, way
Way
bigger.
bigger. I could never be individually successful to the point to to overshadow if my whole family did the same thing I did.
Right.
Exactly.
Never. That's exponential growth. So for me, man, that's a deep topic. I love talking about it, but I think the 2 biggest things is that we have to shift our mindset and we have to know that it's bigger than just us. You know?
Yeah.
Jeff, I
So,
have a question.
yep.
Yeah.
So one of the things we speak about as a group a lot is the confusion on what financial literacy is, right?
Yeah.
So the confusion now is what's really the foundation of financial literacy? Is it getting your credit repaired, getting a credit card, building up your credit and doing things with the credit card, or is it actually fundamentally learning how to save, learning how to budget, learning how to have your spouse save and budget, your family, and then
Yeah.
take that money, invest it, and then start doing the other things after that? Or is it just financial literacy. I need to become an entrepreneur. Let me get out here and get all these credit cards. Let me get all this business,
Yeah.
and now, what does it mean to you?
To me, I think there's two things that I teach when it comes to financial literacy, and one is understanding cash flow.
Yes.
Like that's the root of where everything is going to be built from. If you have a home and you're building a home from the ground up, you can't build that home without laying a foundation,
Yeah.
right? And then Jason, this, one of the two biggest issues that a homeowner can have is with his roof and with his foundation.
Foundation.
You can lose a home because of
Correct.
foundational issues.
Correct.
You can lose the whole home. The same thing with your financial house. You got to understand that cash flow. If your cash flow is lost, you can lose everything,
Yeah.
right? So you have to understand that, understand how to manage it. And then the second thing, because I like to start with the basics. When I get into it, I start with the basics. The cash flow is your foundation. You need to understand that fully. The second thing is you need to understand the economic society you live in. What is the American economics based off of? Capitalism, right? Do you understand that? Because now you're trying to get financial literacy, right? So you're trying to get in the game, you got to understand the rules. You got to understand how to
Yep.
play this thing. Do you understand what capitalism is? Do you understand that economic structure? Because if you don't, you just out here, on the checkerboard when everybody else playing chess. We over here making all types of moves that you can't even figure out how to make because you on the wrong game board, right? Those two things, bro, like for me, that's the foundation of financial literacy. For me, that's where I start.
That's dope, bro. Like I my business changed over the past several years, and it's crazy, man. Because I was talking to Gerard about this earlier. I learned how to go from the transactional business to the relationship business, and
Yeah.
sitting there and talking to people in a whole different light, not just thinking about, oh, how much am I make on this commission? I might not can't make all my commission on this, but how can I set myself up for them to trust me and give me
Hmm.
referrals? Because
Right.
that's where the money is on their
Right.
relationship when they start giving referrals, right? So right now, a lot of people like to hit that big nugget. I need to make as much money per transaction as possible. And it's like, nah, bro, you ain't gonna last in any sales industry doing that. You
Nah.
need to, you need quantity, right? You need
Yeah.
quality and quantity. So if you approach that relationship correctly, honestly, put their family first, not because be honest, you got to put their family first, not yours.
Yeah.
In a sense,
Right.
when you're dealing with other people's money, man, I'm passionate about that because I see so many people get screwed over in all of our industries, real estate, mortgages, and financial services, man. And it's like, yeah, that person didn't really care about what
Right.
they were doing, right? So you got to have an end goal also. Hey, if you do this, if you buy this product, do this transaction, what is it on the other side for you and your family?
Yeah.
Do you have an exit strategy? Do we have a way to make it
Hmm.
make sense later? Because right now it might make sense, but when you close this transaction, can you still maintain?
Exactly.
And and that's what's hurting our people, and they don't trust us anymore because they don't think we're putting their best, our best foot forward to help them and their families. So
That's true.
yeah, I love it, Jeff, man. That's
Unfortunately,
dope.
it's people out there doing business that way. And I really want to help to change that. That's why I got behind building a team. I was perfectly fine managing my own practice, building my own clients. Like had a lot of people I'm working with, when I came into the managerial side and like started coaching and building a team.
Hmm.
Over 700 clients in over 20 states. So I'm like, let
Nice.
me stay in my lane. I've been able to figure this out. So let me just keep doing this. I'm building my investment property business outside of this. So, you know, but it came back to what I was passionate about, which is what I was just talking about. Like, if
Yeah.
I'm just doing that and I can't teach other people how to do that with me, what am I doing it for? You know? So I want to make a difference in whatever way I can. Maybe it's just this small part of Atlanta where I got this team and we making a difference, whatever. I feel better about it, because I tell my team, like, look, man, if I'm going out to a client, I feel like if I can't help him or her or that household, if I can't get them a win, then I didn't win.
Of
Right.
course.
I got to figure out how to get you a win. I got to figure
Yeah.
out how to make sure you winning. That's the only way that I'm winning, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm teaching everybody else that same mentality, man. That's how we got to come out here with it, because then people can start to trust again. Then they can start to say, well, it's some people out there doing the right thing. There's some people out there, putting us in the right position. You just got to find them, you
Right.
know?
Is there a particular person in the household or when you go to families that is the target in which they control the majority of everybody? They'll follow their flow, or is it like every person for themselves for the majority of the families you go speak to?
When you say family, you mean like a household like spouses and kids, or you mean like family like brothers, sisters, cousins?
Like both.
I mean, when I go into it and it's like spouses and children, I'm just listening,
Mhm.
and it's different. Sometimes the wife is making all the moves, and sometimes
Got it.
the husband is making all the moves. Um, I'm just listening to see. Um, Usually when it's a bigger family, the person that comes to me to ask me to speak to their family is the one that people are going to be following.
Got it.
So and I've done it plenty of times. And people are coming, they'll say, man, I really want you to talk to my family, try to get them. And I always tell them, like, hey, look, I can talk to them. They're gonna be excited about it. But after I leave, they're gonna want to go back to doing the same thing. So
Yeah,
you're gonna have to come behind me and keep that motivation going,
definitely.
because I can tell people, you know, here's the, here is the recipe, right? I can give you the recipe. Here it is. But I can't cook it for you. I can't get in the kitchen and start whipping it up for you. You got to do something,
Yeah.
you know?
So pretty much it's like you gotta have some level of discipline outside of the conversation.
You do. You
Yeah.
do. You do.
Yeah.
And I've learned that, man. I've failed a lot of times, personally. I've failed a lot of times. And I'm just grateful to God to always come out on the other end, with a W. But I think that that's only because I'm willing to fail. Like, I'm willing to like go out there, try something. I'm like, damn, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. What did I do wrong? What can I do different? You know? And that's when I figured that out. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back in, try this again, you know? So same thing when we talk to these families, it's like, look, y'all gonna have to be committed to the process.
Yeah.
Anytime you do something new and you changing up your situation, it's just not gonna feel comfortable. If you can't get outside of your comfort zone, you're not gonna grow.
Right.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
just the truth of it. That's just the truth of it. You think Denzel is that good of an actor because he never got outside his comfort zone? Come on now.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Come on now. He didn't took some roles where he like, oof, I'm gonna see what I can do with this one. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel, man. Like, that's what we got to do. We got to push our people to do that, though. We got to like as a group, we have to push our people to do that, and we got to send our people to each other. Like, if I know somebody needs to talk to Jason about something, I need to go ahead and push them that way. You
Yeah.
know, and I feel like I can do better with that, because a lot of times I tell people like, "Hey, call my guy. Here you go, boom," and I'm thinking they're gonna move like I would move and call my guy. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times you gotta come behind. Hey, did you call him? Hey, did you man, make sure you do that right now, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
So I think us, like, in this group, because I can tell, like, with the energy, it's like I'm seeing everybody moving in their own success. And you probably would feel like if you tell somebody to go do something, they just gonna move the same way. But a lot of times they just don't, you know.
I notice, you have those people on your team, your cheerleaders, your referral partners, right? They'll, hey, listen, I gave such and such a phone number, they're gonna give you a call. And 90% of the time they don't call. And it's usually fear. It's usually, something on the other side, a reason why they didn't call, or sometimes they even look at us like, oh, we too busy, so we don't want to deal with their problem or whatever. They get kind of self-conscious. So I notice a lot of times you got to make the connection, or your the referral partner got to make the connection. We got to make that connection immediately, because a lot of times they won't call.
That's true. That's true, for sure.
I know we got passes, but Jason asked you a question about financial literacy, and he said something about financial literacy. Is it fixing your credit, so you can buy a house, so you can pay your bills? Is it saving your money to pay for college? Is it creating cash flow? Me personally, I think it's all of that in one, but it's stages and it's levels of financial literacy. Like you go through like the basic stages, like make sure your credit good, pay your student loan debt, and then after you do those different things, then now you could see you got more space to focus on other things like creating those the cash flow and getting properties and different things like that. But as you're going, you're always elevating up, like,
Yeah.
come from the bottom to the top. And I know we said that a minute ago, but I definitely try to keep it in my mind because I be thinking about all kind of stuff. So I just want to go back and say that. To me, I would feel like it's everything in one, but depending on what stage you are in life, then you at this stage, and then as you gradually grow, then you're gonna go to the next one. And even after you get properties, now you trying to get buildings and commercial property or something like that, if that's your goal.
Yeah.
It's levels, brick by brick, man.
Yeah, for
Brick
sure.
by brick, boy.
For sure, for sure.
And that's definitely what I've learned as far as having an advisor on my end is like you still gotta break the cycle. You know what I mean? You gotta unlearn what you've already been doing for the last 10, 20, 30 years with money.
Yeah,
And
bro.
then you gotta relearn and figure out how to implement that every single day. And it's gonna be a struggle, you know what I mean? But just like you said, if you're not being uncomfortable, whether you're trying to grow a business or you're trying to get your own personal finances together, it's never going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you got to go through hardship. Whether you are again the individual or you the business owner, you have to go through hardship in order to come out on the other end to see the light of day.
Right. And Jeff said he failed plenty times in his personal life. And I was just listening, like, if you're not failing, you're not even trying. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, like, I don't care what I go through. I don't care how many times I fail. I passed my fucking real estate exam on the seventh try, I think, sixth or seventh time. And I don't even care. I was gonna go back the next day if I failed. I'd have still been taking if I've been failing all this
Right.
time. And I passed it on the time I didn't even study. What type of shit is that? I don't know. But I didn't have a problem. As long as I'm seeing my numbers going up, I know I'm gonna do it. I know I'm gonna get it. And like once you failed a lot in life, to me personally, everything is easy because you
Yeah.
fail so many times.
Yeah.
Like and this is what I learned too in business and network marketing and just business period. You got to fail your way to the top.
Yeah.
As long as you
Yep.
failing, you trying, and you getting new data, new information. So you're gonna figure out how to win. It's gonna happen. As long as you want it, and you working towards it, it's gonna happen. Don't worry about when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen as long as you're trying. You know what I mean? That's what I believe in. That's what I've seen in my own personal life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right.
It's true.
You're
so
right about
so
that.
Jesse, you about to say something?
Nope, you good.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So when we even talk about networking, right? Because King just said this, how has it been for you when growing your business, and even trying to connect with family? Like what type of because I know you said again, like you try to bring cousins on with certain business ideas that you got going on or the businesses that's already in motion. What do those conversations look like? Whether they're right there in front of you or even if they're in other states, because again, me and Jason just went through our family reunion, and now we made some new connections, and we're realizing like, yo, there's so much out there. And how does that look like with people that may not even be ready to have that conversation? Like, or what has been your personal experience with that?
And when you say networking in that way, are you saying specifically with family members or with anybody?
Now let's stick with family members right now.
Okay, yeah. You know, honesty. Honesty is the key when you're having those conversations because um naturally your family wants to feel like if you bringing something like this to the table, right? And you introducing this conversation like this,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes your family is going to feel like you about to put them on and they're about to be part of the come up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I have to be brutally honest, like, hey, this is not for us. We're part of building a foundation that by and large, our kids are going to benefit from. This is something that can help us retire. We can retire into what we build. But as far as like coming up right now, that ain't what's going to happen.
Wow.
Like we're building something that we can retire into managing, that we can pass to our kids, and our kids are going to be the ones that are going to benefit from it. And they're
Right.
going to be able, if we do it the right way, they're going to be able to build it out even more. And then our grandkids are going to benefit even more, right? So this is really a play that we're building a house for other people to enjoy, right? That's what it is. And either you feel like you can get behind that purpose or you don't, you know?
Wow.
And that's how I bring it to the table. And then, it's crazy because you'll still have family that's like, well, okay, if we do this, but can we break off and do this, and this for us? And I'm like, man, listen, you didn't, that's not the purpose, bro. Maybe that happens, right? But that's not the purpose behind it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we build something real faster than what we thought, and maybe it becomes this big thing, and maybe we all retire early, maybe. But that ain't the purpose. The purpose is for us to build something. Once we get older, we can say, all right, we don't have to work anymore because now we got a situation that we built and we got income that we can live off of, and we got something that we can give to our kids that they can continue to grow, right? And they don't have to go out and try to get a scholarship or try to get a student loan, right? Or try to work 2, 3 jobs like I did to try to pay your way through school, and then just to get a piece of paper just for somebody else's dad to tell them they could come work for them, right? That's what we're trying to get out of.
Yeah.
So either you could get behind that or you can't. Like that's what I get. That's what I bring.
Hold on. Gerard, you still ain't get the soundboard up because we need to drop some bombs right there because that was just crazy. We
Every
pew, pew,
every
pew, pew,
everybody
pew.
said
But it's the truth, it's the truth. That's how it plays out, so that's what I'm trying to get them to understand. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say it looks like when I come to the table and bring the conversation.
And so even within that, man, it sounds like the mindset is just passed down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as like I'm trying to get the money now. Like yes, I care about my kids, but like I'm trying to put myself in a position
Right.
because that's from most of the time that's how most of our parents were brought up
Exactly.
was, hey, I need to get me together. You can figure you out as you get older.
Exactly.
It's an analogy for that. It says that you're going to plant the tree that you most likely will never get the benefit from the shade of that tree.
right, right.
But in this world we live in now, Gerard's the oldest here. Him or Jeff is the oldest here.
Yo,
But we live in a we live in a technology age now that if you use the family economics, right, we can get there even faster. So
Definitely.
Way
we all
faster.
can benefit from the shade of
Definitely.
several trees, and I think
Several thousand.
I think that concept is hard for some people. So in order for people to to buy into that, I do believe you need one person or maybe two or us to push forward together, create this, and then show him, hey, this is what we did. We're not speaking in theory anymore.
Right.
This is what we did. We created a
Right.
podcast. We got together with our peoples. We all benefited from buying this commercial property. We bought land. We bought a grocery store. We bought a laundromat. Look what we can do with just us. Now imagine if we put the dollars of the whole family behind us. Like
Right.
think about it. You have 100 people in your family. If everybody give $1,000, and I hate when people say, "Oh my, bro, $1,000 is not hard to get." People spend $1,000 on crap every month,
Yeah.
You
right?
said crack or crap?
Both. So 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 if you put that together, that family can't be stopped. You $100,000, you can do a lot. People say it's not a lot of money. They're kidding you, bro. They're lying to you. That's a lot of
Yeah.
money to do some stuff with investing, especially in these smaller cities and towns around the U.S. Listen, man. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's for sale, man.
Yeah. That's
Everything's for sale,
that's
man.
capitalism, bro.
Yeah, man. Play the game. Learn the game,
You see what
bro.
I'm saying? Just like you just said, everything's for sale. So like
Everything's for sale.
for us, for us, for us, you say just that one line and we like, boom, got it. Know what you're talking about. But
Yep.
there's
Yeah,
other people that are like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You know?
they talk about clothes and basic shit.
Think about it. Think about how many people are like, what do you mean? Like Jordans? Yeah.
Hell yeah, about to
Actually,
get me some Saturday.
Apple phones, and like that's how. And it's not. I'm not saying that it's something wrong with people that think that way. I'm just saying that has been what we've known for so long that that's what we're comfortable with thinking about.
Yep. The programming.
You know, and like Mike said, it's like our parents and our parents' didn't get taught the things that we got taught, right? So
The things that we learned though, because they, you know,
they didn't, and think about it, they didn't have access
Yep.
yeah,
to their, to be
yeah,
fair,
yeah, nah,
they didn't have access, right? They did not have access. We got a lot more access.
Google, and I mean,
Now you get a chat GPT now. Like
yeah,
it's crazy
yeah,
out here.
but you know, I said this before, and I'm gonna keep saying it because it's always gonna come up, man. We got smartphones and dumb people, man.
Yeah.
You know, I know it sounds fucked up, but it's true. Like the people didn't have as much back then, but a lot of people, families did. They do got land. Like Jason was saying, his wife family got like a lot of different, got like a lot of land. But
You
so
know
some
why?
people like was smarter. Some people, they want to
You
be
know why?
free.
You know why? You know why? You know why that was? Because back then, our people, right, valued family more than they do.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Like really, like we value family. Like you got good fathers, good mothers out here. True, right? But when I say value family, I mean they valued what their family tree was going to look like when they were gone.
The whole
100%.
family tree from the top
Right.
to the bottom.
Right. So
You know what I
what
mean?
they knew how to do was, hey, I know I can go get some land, I can go get some property, I can leave that. Right. Okay. So we know that, but we know that we can do more than that now, and we can
Well,
leave
yeah,
now. Right.
right,
So now we need to go do it.
right.
Yo,
Yeah.
this
You guys are trying to give both of my grandfathers escape. Bro, they could have got $20,000 and bought the Buffalo Bills. That's all I'm gonna say.
listen. It's a story. It's a funny story, similar. My grandfather' best friend in South Carolina.
Hey, Gerard, you cut out.
Right,
Yeah,
went out. I
I'm
can't
sorry.
remember.
Here I go.
Oh.
My grandfather' best friend. They was in the military together. They grew up together in South Carolina. And he used to tell the story all the time that when they got out the military and he had his whatever money you get from the military. So back then it was $1,500, and he tried to talk my grandfather into going into a franchise with him at the time, and all you needed was $1,500 to get in. And he's trying to gas them up, like, listen, we can make millions, or not millions, but he's like, yo, we could be rich, we'll be straight. You should invest in this for your family. And my grandfather's like 1,500, like at the time, it's a lot of money. He's like, yeah, I don't think I could do it. So the guy went ahead and did it on his own. Can anybody guess what the franchise was?
Burger King.
McDonald's.
I knew he was gonna say McDonald's.
It was McDonald's. He missed the opportunity to buy into McDonald's for 1,500, and the guy wind up, passing away with like 2 McDonald's in Manhattan, in New York City. So we talk about that all the time. Well, we used to anyway. But yeah, you gotta recognize those opportunities. But another thing, like I was thinking, and this could just be a theory. Obviously, a lot of things have changed now with family dynamics and, things like that. And COVID made it even worse. The pandemic made it even worse because we done figured out ways to be around family and do things like this without actually being around family all the time. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's where we are. But also, talking about inflation and the value of a dollar and like to buy land, to buy a building, or buy multiple properties and pass it on to the next generation. The average person is looking at that like, yo, that's gonna take millions. That's gonna take hundreds of thousands. And I don't think people realize how accessible those things are. I don't think people realize that a house don't have to cost you your life, or a plot of land don't have to cost you your life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people realize how accessible it is, and it's just like this uphill battle that that people are fighting every day, and it just seems unobtainable. You know what I mean?
Hey man, as long as you got real estate and you got companies giving loans, you can make this happen.
For sure.
And you can make it happen without having a lot of money.
Yeah.
You get yourself into the right property, you fix that thing up yourself, you sell it, make you 50,000, 100,000, whatever, right? Then you say, all right, I'm gonna take this money and I'm gonna go get a better property, right? And maybe I turn that into a rental, right? And then I fix that up while I go rent somewhere for a year. And I might have to go rent the cheapest thing I see out there for a year.
Yep.
Let this rental property stack up my money, pay everything I got off, have my credit in a superb spot, have my savings in a superb spot, right? Now, boom, I go out and get my own property. Then I might flip that rental and now I get 2. I'm literally telling you like what I did. Like, so I know it can be done, And I stayed in a bad spot for like a year. Did I have to? No, but I knew like if I did that, I'll be able to grow my money faster, right? And I'll be able to use that for my own property. And then I can leverage this one property and get 2 because I don't need the proceeds from it anymore. And my credit is in a spot to where it can handle it. My savings is in a spot to where it can handle it, And that's how I went from 1 to 2 to 3. And now I put everything in the business name. And now the business is going to rock out and do its thing. And I don't even have to do it anymore. Right?
Right. Yep. Did the hard part.
Now, was I uncomfortable staying in that terrible neighborhood? I was, but it was a means to an end because I knew what my end goal was.
Right. You was on a mission.
That's it.
Yeah. So, how do you feel? What would you tell somebody that is afraid or not willing to make that type of sacrifice?
I would want to see why they're not willing. My question to them would be, are you more afraid that it won't work or that it will work? Which one are you more afraid of? You know, because you not doing it is the same as it not working,
Right.
Oof.
right?
Yeah.
You're getting the same result. You're getting the same result. If you don't do it and it doesn't work, same result.
That's
So what are
facts.
you more afraid of? It working? Because you're already getting the result of not doing it, right?
Joy, you about to get fired, man. You need a soundboard. You need to hurry up, bro. we need some bomb dropping over here, man. He's dropping too
So
many gems.
that's what I would tell people, Gerard, for real. That's what I would tell people, you know.
Yeah.
I need you to answer that question for me.
Yeah. And you're right, man. Just like even on it working, when it works, that means you got to really do the work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can't continue to run. And I've been victim to that. Even sometime now, I still deal with that. You know, just being open and transparent. It's like sometimes I'm like, man, I know I got the skill set.
Mm-hmm.
I know I can. I know how to have a conversation. I know how to read a book. I know how to get some information and share it.
Yeah.
But once I get that information, then I start having that conversation. Then here comes the follow through. Here comes the follow up and the long game now. Then it's like, damn, hold on, I gotta. It's
And
I gotta do a lot more work
I
now.
mean that's a common thing, you know.
Yeah.
I coach people on my team like, look, it's crazy. It was one guy, advisor I have right now. He asked me today. He was like, man, so like, what do you think is gonna be like my two hardest things as I really start to build this thing out? I said, man, it's the two hardest things. It's the same for everybody. One is making a commitment to do it, right? And then two is staying consistent with the commitment you made. That's
So simple.
That's gonna be the two hardest things for you, bro. You know, you got it. You got to make that commitment, and you got to stay consistent with the commitment you made. And he was like, "Oh, I can see that. Yeah, that's what's gonna be your two hardest things. You know."
All right, I'll make sure I get the bombs for next week for sure.
No, hold on. I'm already on YouTube trying to find something real quick. Cause we gonna let that slide.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff dropping the gems. Hey, real quick, I just want to jump into the chat real quick. Shout out to Johanna. Johanna becoming a regular. She been here like 3 weeks in a row. She always hanging out with us. Thanks for hanging out with us, Johanna. She said because people are scared of success as well. For sure.
As soon as I heard it,
Imposter
I heard that.
yeah.
As soon as I heard
Imposter
it,
syndrome, man. They're like feel like they don't deserve it.
Yeah, sure.
they don't. Shit, if it ain't working for you, you don't deserve it anyway. My fault. I didn't mean to blurt that out. I just.
I agree with her. I said that earlier. Y'all remember I said that earlier. You know.
Yep. Shout out to
and
Shalita.
And then people will get to success and feel like they have to like dim their light when they come
Nah, never. Ever.
I'm not saying to do it or not to do it. I'm just saying that some people feel like they have to.
Yeah, they do, and they don't want to come around because they got to do that too.
Yeah.
Say that one more time for me. I had missed that. I was looking at the comments.
I was saying to her point. A lot of times when people do reach that success, then they get nervous and they feel like they have to dim their light when they come around other people. You know.
Okay.
When that's not really the case.
Right.
That makes sense. So Jeff, man, what's in the future, my brother? What's some of your goals? Any major plans that you're working on to accomplish?
Yeah, a few. I want to keep growing the team. I want, like I told y'all before, man, I really want to keep it diverse. I want to have more women, more female advisors in my office than any other office in all of Metro Atlanta. That's my first goal. And I want to have, you know, more people of color in these roles, in these seats, than anybody else. I just think it's different if we can do it together the right way.
Right. That's key.
And yeah, and outside of that, with my investment property business, I really I think Jason and I talked about this before, but I really either want to get into commercial, more into commercial real estate,
Yeah.
or get something internationally. And I've been looking. So I've been going to South America a lot. My business partner, he just went out to Dominican Republic. And we're looking in Mexico. So we're looking basically in Mexico, Colombia, and Dominican Republic. So if we can, and I got some good deals on the table, it's just the logistics of it is crazy. But if we can work that out, then I want that next property we have to be international. If not, then I definitely want to, step into the commercial space here in the States.
Yeah, I'm not a real estate guy, but I know listening to Jason, he was saying that I think it was him or somebody that working in the commercial space, you could make a lot more money
Yeah,
on the commercial side versus on like a residential side, because obviously it's a whole lot bigger. So all you need is a few of those, and you can make the same about selling 10
yep,
houses versus two commercial properties. Yeah,
exactly. It's a
make a
good
lot
space
more
to be
sense.
in. Good space to be in. So those are my goals right on the horizon right now. Like I really want that in the next 24 months. That's what I'm looking to achieve with both of those things.
Nice.
I didn't
So,
want to cut you off. Hold on, I didn't want to cut him off when he said Colombia. You could tell you really was doing well in Spanish. You try to hide it a little bit, but I heard it. I heard how you said Colombia too. Yeah, 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 yeah.
No, a
I didn't
little
want to.
bit.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out. I didn't want to cut you off during the
No,
time.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, brother. Definitely, yeah, I do a little bit.
I
Not
ain't
bad.
gonna lie, you, you do look a little Dominican.
That's what they say, man. And it's
Nah,
crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy when I go to Colombia, they say the same thing. I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. I'm back. Say I'm home. I'm
yeah,
back.
I'm home, man.
Yeah.
Estoy en mi casa. What I mean, so see right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, man. If y'all checking in, just tuning in to the podcast, we sitting here with my brother Jeff Malone, dropping some gems, man, on family dynamics, family economic structure and power, and definitely networking, man. So thank y'all for tapping in, fellas. Any more questions? Any more topics you want
Gerard's
to hit?
about to say something.
Oh, he wants. Okay, go ahead.
I
Yeah,
don't,
we
I
cut him
don't,
off. My fault.
yeah, nah, I'm
You good?
good. I don't even remember what it was. I'm sorry.
Damn, I be hating that
I
too,
know,
man.
I
Damn.
know.
I told you he was the oldest. I
Yo,
told you.
and I can't
You
even,
remember what
I
he
can't
said
even
too?
argue with you now. I can't even argue with you because I forgot how to. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Lord have mercy.
So
So
good, bro.
I do have a question, Jeff. I know we spoke about it before, but when someone is ready to go, right, and they have a plan and they have a family member or two
Mhm.
or several of them, and they want to start structuring something, what's the first step they should take?
They have a plan and they have a family member and they want to start structuring something.
Yeah, like they have a group of people in the family, and they're like, okay,
Get with
these
a
people are
professional,
the are
man.
the are the
Get get
people.
get with a professional that you can trust. If you don't know somebody, reach out to somebody that you can trust and ask them, if they have anybody that's a professional in the financial arena, and get with that person. You don't necessarily want to get with like a banker. You really want to get with somebody that's like, a financial professional that does some type of planning, and go to them with your plan, with what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and see if they listen to you first. And if they do, and you feel good about it, work with that person.
Exactly.
Because we live in a day and age. We were just talking about it where you can get information anywhere, right?
Yep.
So,
Right.
like I always say, I could change my transmission if I wanted to. I could jump on YouTube, find me a little tutorial, but that's not the best use of my time. And I'm
Bruh.
not gonna be comfortable when the job is supposedly done. I'm not gonna be comfortable driving that car like I would if I let the dealership do it or if I let a auto shop do it, right? So don't think that you got to put it all on yourself to try to learn it, because that's not what you need to do. You
Yeah.
just need to be able to go to a professional and take guidance, commit to it, and stay consistent.
Yeah. And then real quick, just adding on to what you were saying earlier about, getting with that person in the family. Uh, we gotta build trust. You know what I mean? And the only way to build that trust is to go have that conversation. You know what I mean? You don't have to necessarily bring them all your documents. You know, you don't have to tell them how much money you're making, but just starting that conversation, you know what I mean? And like you said, seeing if they listen, you know what I mean? But we have to start somewhere. And that somewhere is just a conversation. You know, hopefully y'all don't have, too much bad blood in the past where you like, nah, I definitely ain't messing with them. But if the relationship is semi okay, let's learn to how to build relationships with our family when we know that it's bad and we know that, we're listening to this conversation and we understand that a family economic is better than the own individual economic.
Yeah.
So in order to reach that success as a family, we have to start building the relationships as a whole, and that starts with the ones that are able to reach out across country or not country to country, state to state with other family members, right? Because I've even heard on my end some of my family members where they were discussing a whole bunch of drama from the south to the north, and nobody really knew why.
Hmm.
And it was just like, yo, okay, now we older. We can now have adult conversations. Let's understand why there was such a
Yeah.
disconnect and nobody was really talking to each other, but everybody got an
Yeah.
attitude, but we don't even understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
That's important, man.
Yeah,
That's good. That's important for real.
definitely.
Hey, look, shout out, happy birthday, shout out to my homegirl Cynthia Marie in the comments. She wants to know, how does one get started? She kind of just tapped in, so she want to know, how does one get started, and what if someone isn't knowledgeable about financial planning, but they do have the money, but just don't know what to do with it or know where to get started?
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, it goes back to what we said. I mean, it's a good question. It's a good question. Goes back to what we said. We and happy birthday to her too.
Happy
We
birthday, happy
Yeah,
birthday.
happy birthday, Miss Cynthia.
we want to make sure that we just align you with the professional that does have those answers and can give you the education and can give you the guidance you need and show you the things that you might not know. I think that when you start talking to somebody though, in that situation, like be upfront with them and let them know like, hey, I don't know everything, and before I even get started on something, I would like to get some education.
Mm.
I would like you to give me some education on some things and have a couple topics. Maybe you want to get education on retirement, 401k, 403bs, IRAs. Maybe you want to get education on how to protect your income, on how to get a rate of return, how to make money off of your money in the market.
Mm.
Different things you want to get education on, right? See if they take the time to do that for you before they start jumping into trying to do a transaction with you. And if so, that I would say that may be a good person to talk to.
Yep.
And start building with that person. Whoever it is that you're working with your finances, you want to feel like you can have a relationship with that person that can continue to grow. Because this is your money. You work hard for it. These are your goals. You're working hard to achieve them. You can't be talking to and dealing with somebody that's here today, going tomorrow.
Mm.
You need somebody that you can be in this relationship with, and they're going to grow with you, and y'all going to grow together, and they're going to continue to help you as you continue to grow.
Yep.
That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Cynthia, right?
Yep, Cynthia. She said, thank you, everyone. But quick question, I'll piggyback off of that. Do you feel like new clients or new people that you work with, are people forthcoming? Do people tell you everything, or do you feel like you have to kind of pry to get the information out? Are people comfortable with you, I guess, going through this process, and what does that look like?
With me, at this point, yeah, I don't really have a issue with people being forthcoming and telling me everything. But I've been doing it for a while, so I would want to answer that in two ways. Like now, yeah, people open up. I'm almost a counselor sometimes. But if you go back to when I started, doing this, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. I mean, and the reason why was I was doing more talking than I was listening, you know. That was something I had to learn because I was being taught the wrong way. When I first started, I started with a different firm. And, they just taught me the wrong way to go about having these consultations with people. And I quickly learned because I would see like, man, this person told me about this and this, but later on I found out they also got this account and this account. And they never told me about that 2 months ago, right?
Right.
And I had to reevaluate. That's what I was telling you. I had a lot of times where I failed and I had to correct myself. So I had to reevaluate, how am I having these conversations? Does it feel genuine to me? Like the conversation I'm having, does it feel genuine to me? Or do I feel like I'm coming in here with an agenda that somebody told me to come in with, right? So I had to eliminate that out of my mind. Like, all right, I'm not going to listen to what they're telling me to come in here with. I just want to get to know this person. Let me see what we can establish. Let me see what they got going on and how can I help? So once I was genuine, like the genuine Jeff, and once I took the time to just sit down and hear people and listen to them and have that conversation from a genuine place, no problem.
Yeah. So real quick, Jeff, I'm about to give you some game, my brother. And you can't steal this. You can't steal this.
I might have to.
You can't, man.
I'm pulling the iPhone out, brother. Go ahead. What you got to say?
So this is something that I came up with. Oh no, actually, was it you, Gerard? It was either me or it was you on the podcast we did with Mike, the other Mike. You kind of said it. You said to where now you're like a counselor. My thing I came up with is I look at myself as a financial therapist.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where we actually sit down and we have to sometimes dive deep and you have to, like you said, sit down and listen and have that conversation on where did your money troubles come from, right? What's the history that you had with money? What did it look like with your parents growing up? Did your parents talk about money as you grew up? Did you get educated?
Yeah.
Or was it just absolutely nothing? You know what I mean? Did you just get a job one day, start making money and figured it out? But in order to get there, we have to sit down and have that conversation. And again, man, that's that financial therapy.
You're right. I'm gonna have to take it, bro. I'm sorry.
Listen, I get 10% off of that, bro.
Okay. I got you on the comeback.
That's okay. Look, long as I get something, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use that one. That one is true. That is real spit right there. That's you saying the right stuff right there, man. That's true.
Yes,
I feel like you have to do that though. I don't feel like you can really help somebody fully if you don't do that.
Yeah.
Doctors ask you personal questions like that.
You got to ask the right questions for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to the doctor, they're gonna ask you some questions so they can figure out how to help you.
Right.
So yeah, you got to do that, bro. You saying the right thing. That's true.
Yeah, most definitely. And that kind of just goes back to what we're talking about, even connecting it all, right? Even with trying to do business with family.
Yeah.
You're gonna still need a financial therapist possibly to even help get y'all through those problems. And then hey, once we talk about, obviously you don't want to go deep into like your own personal business, like outside of business,
Right.
but maybe you need to have that advisor in the middle sometimes to have 2, 3, 4 conversations on, hey, we are new to family and we're trying to build this business together. What are some steps that we can take? If you're not even asking those types of questions as that beginner, it's like, let me take that back. Those are some types of questions that you should be asking as a beginner. If you're looking to get into a space with you and your family are looking to do business together, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Jeff, man, we just need some help, my brother. We got some beef and we just need to figure out why our beef is this way and how can we move through it.
Yeah.
We want to invest in some property together. What's some steps that we can take?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Cynthia got a question. This is a tough one. So the question is, how has it been working within our community, I guess within the African American community, are we reluctant to save or invest? I think I got an answer for that, but I'll let you handle it.
You can answer it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, nah, you go. You're a professional, and I'll piggyback. I'll piggyback.
How has it been for me? It's been eventful. that's what I'll say.
Big facts.
It's been eventful. It's been a ride. It's been a ride. And I've enjoyed it. You know, ups and downs. You know, the difficulties, the wins. I've enjoyed it all. Right. Reluctant, yes. People are reluctant, but not everybody. You know, not everybody. So I'll talk about the people that are reluctant, right? So, because the people that aren't, you know, they typically are being introduced to me, connected to me by somebody I'm already helping. That's already a client. The people that are reluctant, usually they're reluctant because of the uncertainty of what it is that we're doing, what it is that they feel like will be required of them to do. But in all honesty, if they understand their cash flow and they understand their balance sheet, their income statement, they understand the current financial picture, once we get through all that education together, the reluctancy goes away because they start to realize everything that we're doing, everything we're talking about is for them. It ain't for me.
Right.
You know, it's for them. So now they're engaged with the process of figuring out how to get themselves to where they want to be. And they see that I'm just here to walk with you and make sure that we don't go off the road.
Yeah.
Right? I see where you want to go. I know exactly the route that we can take to get there. So I'm here to walk with you and get you there. You know, everything else, it's all for you. So I think a lot of that reluctancy, the wall comes down because that uncertainty goes away and they realize that everything we're doing, we're talking about just for them. It's just to help you be better. Just help you be a better you, get you where you want to be, right? So I would tell her, if she knows people like that, or even if she feels like that, you know what? Embrace it and understand that that is a natural feeling that you're going to feel whenever you step into new territory, right? If somebody starts a new job, right? They start a new job. They got this new opportunity with this new corporation. It's in a new city. It's in a new state, right? They first day on the job, they're a little bit aware. They a little trying to see what's going on, trying to, you know, who can I trust? Is everybody for me or not? You know, that's a natural feeling. You know, you stepping into a new territory. So just embrace it and know that, you know, who you working with should be there for you for the long haul to help you. And it should be all about you. It shouldn't be about them.
Yeah,
what were you gonna say, Gerard? What were you gonna say?
I think that there is, I don't want to say a misconception, or there's a lot of our people that are investing. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of our people that are investing. There's a lot of people that's getting to the bag. But sometimes you could feel like it might not be a lot, or you know, you sometimes you could feel like you alone in the space because you just ain't surround yourself with those people yet.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where I was going with it. I think there's a lot of people, people that are trying to get people that are trying to get into it. People with the problems or with a problem, those people are easy to find. But the people that are doing it, you probably ain't gonna never see them because they doing it. You're gonna never see them or hear about them. So it's easy to get caught up seeing the problems or people with the problems, and then you kind of build this perception of
that's how everybody is.
Exactly. And then that might not even be the case. But the best thing you could do is take those steps brick by brick for you, surround yourself with those people, network, right? Build the foundation, and then level up, and then you're going to open yourself up to a whole nother world that you ain't even think was there.
Right. You're right.
Bomb for me. Just
I agree with that. 100. I agree with that 100%. You should have one of those horns too. You know the little horns
yeah.
that to go off. That was yeah. I agree with that 100%.
And then she had another question. I don't know if you saw it, but she said, how do you feel our community handles money overall? And do we have a healthy relationship with money?
Mm.
I honestly, overall, overall, uh, it's hard to say because
Mhm.
it's so different in different places. But overall, I feel like how do we handle money? I think that we're getting better at making money. Um, but I think we could do better at managing the money that we're making.
Mm.
Um, and I feel like our relationship with money, that was part of the question, right? Our relationship with money.
Um, yeah, how do we feel our community handles money overall? And do we have a healthy relationship with money?
Yeah, I feel like our relationship with money overall, right? Because this is a big blanket question. So this is not everybody, but we're just saying by and large, if we just take by and large our community, right? I think that we don't have the healthiest relationship with money because by and large, a lot of us um like really objectify money, right? Like we really put money in this category of meaningfulness,
Mm.
successfulness, right? Whereas if you look at it less of a tangible thing like you can hold, right? And more of as a tool or instrument that you can leverage, you can look at it a totally different way, right? Because when you look at people that are like rich, millionaires, billionaires, right? We talk about them in net worth. We don't talk about them in how much money they have in their account.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times we make money this object that we need to see in our
Mm.
account, right? And that's not really the best, healthiest way to look at it because it's really an instrument within the economic system that you can leverage to build up a net worth, right?
Right.
When you look at millionaires and billionaires, you go look up these people. We're not talking about how much money they have in their bank account. If you go look up Walt Disney right now, it's gonna say net worth. So what does that mean, right? What does that mean? That means somebody's looking at his balance sheet and saying, "Hey, we're looking at assets that he
Right.
has. We're looking at property that he has. We're looking at business ownership that he has, and we're putting a valuation on these things to give you a worth for this person, right? We didn't move. Now we moved way past what he got in his checking account. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that if we can look at money a different way, it can be a healthier relationship.
Yeah,
I
man.
hope that's helpful.
Yeah, man. That makes a whole lot of sense, man. When you make that banking account versus your net worth, whole different conversation,
It's a whole different
Yeah.
conversation.
completely. And sometimes people don't even know what their net worth is. They don't even. We have to figure out how to calculate a net worth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You like we have to figure out what is my net worth and is it at a good space right now? That's really the main way to figure out if you're in a good place financially and if you're on the way to hit some of your goals.
Right,
Is what's your net worth and what
right,
do you want your net worth to be and how do you get there?
right.
Yeah, nice man. Dope information. Miss Cynthia, we definitely appreciate all the questions, man. Anybody else got any questions? Definitely drop them in the comments. We got brother Jeff Malone here
She has
out
some
in
good
Atlanta,
questions.
Georgia.
She has some good questions. Those were good
Yeah, most
questions.
definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, fellas, anything else, man? I know we on a good streak. I don't want to lose it. I don't lose the momentum. Okay, so let me ask this because I want to keep it right where Miss Cynthia was at. This is a good question right here. Um, someone that's looking to have these conversations, right? How soon is too soon to have this conversation as far as like where they are, as far as the amount of money that they're making or whatever goals that they want to reach? Should they be waiting until they hit a certain dollar point, or they've started the business, they got the LLC, and they're starting to make a couple of sales, or should they be starting right in the beginning before the LLC? Where and when should somebody have that conversation with an advisor?
Yeah, it's an outstanding question, man, because you'll hear people say, it's if you wait, you're waiting too long, or it's never too soon. It's never too soon, or you got to start now, like right now. I don't say any of that, man. Like honestly, for me, I know that timing is everything, right? And I know that you always have to meet people where they are, right? So I always say to that question, because it's a really good question. I always say to that question, if you're thinking about it, start the conversation. If you're thinking about it, start the conversation. Do we know if it's the right time for you or not? We don't know. But that's why you need to start the conversation. Because if it's not the right time for you, we can tell you, okay, here's some things you need to do. Boom, boom, boom. Knock those out. Come back, talk to me in 6 months. We can get something going, right? And I've done that for people, right? Got paid $0, met with somebody, 1 or 2 times, spent a few hours with them. Got paid nothing, but I wanted to help them get in a place to where they can start to do something for themselves, start to create a plan, start to put themselves on that walk, on that journey to their goals, right? And crazy as it sounds, they came back after I told them what to do. Hey, look, I'm gonna give
But
you,
hold on.
I'm gonna give you a blueprint. Do these things. Come back in 6 months. Let's talk. Come back in 9 months. Let's talk. Reach back out, Jeff. I did what you said. It worked. Can we look at everything now? All right, let's look at it now.
So
I
Jeff,
need
you just brought a quick question. I'm sorry to cut you off, my brother,
No,
but
go ahead, go ahead, bro.
you said something that I feel like is also important. That's like right there in the middle,
Yeah,
as far as the cost. So you're telling me that speaking with an advisor can be free, even if it's
can
for
be.
2, 3, 4 hours at a time and
It,
over a 6-month period?
it can be.
Wow.
It can be.
I think that right there also can stray people away, because they may believe that got to pay for it. They got to pay for this conversation. You know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
when it's too soon. That's another block. That's like, well,
Yep.
shoot, I want to talk, but shit, I may got to
Yeah.
pay him $1,500.
Now,
I got to pay
now, now,
$1,000.
now, to be fair, I have a lot of advisors that I partner with that will not talk to you until you
Mhm.
pay like a consultation fee or an advisory fee or some type of engagement fee before they
Yeah.
start jumping into it. So to be fair, there are a lot of advisors that way, but no, 100% are not that way.
Mm.
I've never been that way, and I'll tell you why. Like growing up, I'm from Cleveland. You know, um, Cleveland's a humble city. I'll say that, right? And
Mhm.
me growing up, there wasn't just a whole lot of money around. I never in my life growing up saw a financial advisor, a financial professional, or even a banker like come talk to my mother, my father, my aunts, my uncles. Nobody,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
right? Nobody. Never saw it ever. I go to college, I still didn't see that, right?
Yep.
So for me, it's about the purpose behind it all. It's about more than a dollar today. It's about what things can look like tomorrow and the next day. If we start having the right conversations with each other, you know, we'll all make money. That'll happen, you know. I'm grateful I saw success young at a young age, and I really saw like it really didn't mean it got to a point to where it was like it really didn't mean that much because I didn't feel the purpose behind what I was doing. So that's why when I go out and I talk now, there's plenty of times I'll talk to somebody, give them a blueprint on what to do, just to get them where they need to be so they can come back and we can talk business, you know, and I won't charge them for that.
Yeah.
Does that always happen? That doesn't always happen, but it does happen, you know, it does happen, especially early on in my career. That definitely happened, you know.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm at a point in my business where I'm starting to realize that, you know, like we touched on earlier, information is out there. Anybody can learn something and, you know, attempt to execute it, and, you know, you may or may not be successful. But there's professionals that specialize in these certain areas, right? If it you know, we had this joke in our field, like you ain't gonna have a mechanic sell your car, right? You're not gonna have
Right.
a real estate agent perform surgery on you. You know what I mean? So
True.
you got to find the professional, you know, in the field that you're looking in, and you got to find somebody that you could trust and be able to have these conversations with. You don't have to go at this alone. And I'm gonna be a man and say, you know, up until talking to Mike and also my brother-in-law, who also got into the financial sector, I never spoke to a financial planner or anything like that. And you know, within this last year, I just learned so much about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and even being on this live feed with you, with all of y'all, man, I learned so much, and I don't take none of it for granted. And you know, I appreciate these conversations. So I say that to say, once you have that conversation with that professional, that financial advisor, that real estate agent, you know, whoever, you start to you develop an appreciation for what it is that they do, and even a better understanding of where you're trying to go, and you know what your goals are. So don't be afraid to take that step. You know, reach out, and you know, anybody on this call will help you. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely one of those episodes to go back, share with the family, listen to it, put it on the TV, and start figuring out how to have those conversations, man. Gerard, you said some deep things right there, my brother. I think Miss Cynthia had one more question, if I'm not mistaken. Jeff, you can let me know if you want to get into this, but she said, talk more money management. What are some steps people can take for passive income?
Real estate.
There you go.
It's a great one. If you can't get into real estate, I mean, there's other things. There's other things. I don't like to go into products and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
there's other things. But real estate is a great one. I love real estate. That was one of the first things I did. Like graduating from college, like that first year out, that was one of the first things I did, and I knew that was going to be my first passive income stream, and it was, you know, prayed about it, went out there, did what I had to do, boom, you know. So I love real estate as a passive income stream, but there are other things.
Yeah, I I have this conversation a lot. Me personally, I feel like real estate is probably one of the most powerful investments that you actually have some sort of control over. I feel like you know, the investing in stocks, yes, you can make some money. I'm not gonna call it a bad play or a dumb play, but somebody could make a tweet and you could lose your money. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it seems like it happens a lot more frequently now these days. But
it does happen.
I feel like real estate, you got more control, but you also get out of it what you put into it. For, you know, up until this point, I gotta say, up until our generation, there was like this trend before us of people saying real estate is passive. Put your money in real estate. And now in my town, we got a bunch of multifamily properties where ain't nobody make no repairs, And like you know what I'm saying, because it was passive. They didn't have to do nothing. That's how they were
Yeah.
taught. So so now you can't sell them, or you got blight liens and all of this stuff. So it's passive to an extent. You get out of it what you put into it. If you take pride and ownership, you fix your place up, it'll do right by you. Right? You can increase your rents. You can look for better tenants or whatever, or you get ready to cash out, you can sell because you did what you were supposed to do. It ain't 100% passive. You gotta maintain it, right? And possibly improve it, but is still one of the best investments that you have control over.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Hey man, that was great, and I was definitely about to ask for the last gems as we close out here, Gerard. That was definitely dope, man. Fellas, as we close out, last gems. We in the bag. Let's pull out one more gem. Let's drop it for the people. What y'all got? Brother Jeff, I'm sorry with you, man.
I mean, for me, I think it's power in conversations like this. And I think that we need to start running to these conversations more. And we need to be dropping the knowledge that we're getting outside of the conversations in the conversations. And we need to start building and growing, man. I think it's time for build as much as we can, grow as high as we can, and don't put any limitations on it. Things we talked about was like, hesitancy, misinformation, being scared, being nervous about things. We got to throw all that out the window. It's a new day, it's a new time, and if we don't do it now, it's not going to get any better.
Yes, sir. Brother Jason, you got one.
Yeah, I love the question Cynthia have, and everybody asks me this all the time, right? I think they want me to tell them some stock tips or something like that, and I always go real estate, man. There's so many different forms of real estate that we talk about on one of the previous episodes, man. Just look into land, RV parks. They got glamping parks now that people are building. They have mobile home parks. They have everything. Like you can put structures and build spas now. People like if you go to the south, people are buying 2 acres and building spas, literally, in tiny homes. So I think it's the best. That's the best thing to do because you hold on to it and it'll bring passive income and also is something that you can build and sell also, and you can scale that model or you can duplicate it and build in other places. So just I say look into real estate. Everything else is cool, but look into the real estate first and the different avenues you can take from there, and then make a decision based off of that. I think that'll help you and the families feel more secure with your money than putting 15, 20,000 in a stock that you saw somebody online tell you to invest in, and then you lose all your money. Um, and then you're out of that 10,000. So that's
Yes,
my
sir.
gym.
Yes, sir. Man, I'll say for myself, man, reach out to those cousins in the other state, man. Reach out to those family members. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I made some good connections this weekend at our family reunion. Because you just never know who's out there. You know what I mean? If the ones who are right in front of you don't want to have that conversation, man, it's other people. Right? Don't allow those ones that's right here that are not ready to have that conversation or never want to have that conversation to hold you back from starting that conversation.
Right.
And then my last small one, quick one is man, go figure out what that net worth is for yourself. Google it, hit myself up, hit brother Jeff up, and figure out what your net worth is so that way you can figure out where you want to go and how you want to get there. Brother King.
I would say learn how to live below your means by yourself, and even come to the family functions, cookouts, and different things like that right now, and speak about um coming back together as far as family, like living together, sacrifice. Maybe somebody got better credit than you, maybe they got more money than you or whatever, but help this person eventually get a house, and then a year later help the other person get a house, and then just keep doing the same thing like that, because that's what everybody else do. Like we the only people that feel like we gotta have our own house, our own this, our own that, and do it on our own. And I get it, because sometimes you feel like you can't depend on nobody and you don't want to ask nobody for nothing, but you really got to um try to come together to make that happen, because that's how you flourish. That's how you get to the next levels, and you get to the next levels faster.
For
My
sure.
Yes,
daughter
sir.
knocking on my door right now because she
Hey,
just got
folks.
home.
You said what?
She just got home, so she see me in the car, so she trying to talk to me. She ran away. All right, we good.
Folks, that's it, man. Definitely want to say thank you to brother Jeff for hopping on, dropping some gems, dropping some game on today's
Appreciate you, brother.
episode, man.
For sure. For sure.
Folks, go back and listen to this. I'm sure there's a lot that we could take out, even in a 20-minute little snippet of this video. There's 2 hours that we had, literally almost 2 hours of conversation, which is our longest episode so far, which means that it was good, right? Jeff, where can the people find you at, my brother?
Man, I mean, literally, easiest thing. All you gotta do is Google Jeff Malone, Atlanta, Georgia.
Google that, man.
Jeff Malone, Atlanta, Georgia. That's all you gotta do. Just hit Google Jeff Malone, Atlanta, Georgia. That's
He ain't even saying social media handle. He said Google.
That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do.
That boy official. He official.
I'm still in it.
Man, that's a Hey folks, that's a wrap for today's episode. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And shout out to brother Jeff Malone for dropping some serious gems on
Appreciate
building
it,
wealth,
brother.
leading with purpose, and showing us the power of financial education and collaboration. If you took something valuable from this conversation, and we know you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Whether it's a family member, friend, or colleague in another state, the bag is meant to be secure.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good karma is a must. Still my shooter in the cut. I was stuck inside a rut. Played the game, made bank, moved G. Anything to get a buck. You won't find me in the club. I'm in the lab trying to sharpen up the sword. Swinging blades at these scrubs. Bitches flock like bugs to the light. Getting right. Treat my hoes like these raps. I don't really got a type. Off top, bullshitting. All I needed was a mic. Yeah. Hey, pass the rock, it's all butter. Pack your bags and take flight. Don't worry, it's all covered. Hey, live your life while you can. Our days are all numbered. Rain could cause thunder, but the sun comes after, clearing up the disaster.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody dates a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Like, yeah.
Take it from me, I got some places I should take you to see. You know it's easy when you ride with a G. Light speed, moving fast through the city, trying to find me some peace. I finally lived to be the guy that I was dying to be. Still I got some trust issues, people lie through their teeth. The more I grew, the more they hide in the crease. Squad building, weak members get released. If we trying to compete, starting pitchers need relief. Bro, we building a team, everybody got a niche. I've been known to play mine to a team.